Hi guys, this is Rusty78609. I'm just leaving Ruidoso. The reason I came over here was we got a little bad weather headed towards Capitan, and I thought, well, I needed a few things from the grocery store in Ruidoso, so I would, instead of going on Friday, I would just go today, and that way I would miss the bad weather that was coming. They were reporting ping pong ball sized hail in Lincoln, which is about 10 miles away, and 60-mile-an-hour winds headed towards Capitan. And I checked the weather bulletin and I looked at the weather on my phone, and yeah, it didn't look all that good. So I thought, well, this would be a good time for a drive. So away we went, because I want to tell you, when you're in the elevations, you get up around 5,000 feet or above in elevation, and you get a thunderstorm, you can get a lot more than rain. I guarantee you. Because I was in Alpine, Texas one time a few years ago, and I was going to go wash clothes, and it started some little pea-sized hail, just about the size of a green pea. And I thought, well, that's not too bad. So anyway, continued with my thinking process and got my stuff together and was headed towards the little washateria, and I heard something like a shotgun or a weapon being fired. And I thought, I wonder what that is. And what it was there was hailstones about the size of softballs or baseballs hitting the ground. Not many, but it was just starting. So immediately I turned my little feet into super motorcycles and got back to my RV as quickly as I could, because they were hitting around me, and if one of them would have hit me in the head, it'd probably kill me. But anyway, I got back in the RV, and those hailstones started hitting. And they started hitting the roof of the RV and everywhere else, broke out a window in the front of the RV. Two came all the way through the roof and hit the floor inside the RV. And did it get my attention? Yes, I learned a lesson. Next time you see some little pink clouds and there's a thunderstorm in the area, of course I knew that from growing up, that the pink clouds usually meant hailstones, but not this big. That's the largest hailstones I've ever seen in my entire life. But anyway, to make a short story longer, the damage to the RV, it totaled the RV, and it did about $1,200 worth of damage to the pickup that I had at that time. It was a brand new Ford pickup. But anyway, so I learned a lesson. When you can, escape. Because see, if I'd have been checking the weather, I wasn't checking the weather daily and stuff like I should be, or what should have done. And I've gotten in the habit now of, usually about noon, if I see clouds building up in this particular elevation here, then I check to see if there's any weather alerts. Well, there was a weather alert right around noon, but it wasn't too bad. It was still developing. And I checked it again at 1, and that's when I said it's time to get out of Dodge, because not only was it coming from Lincoln, which is east, it was coming from Carrizozo, which is west. So those two avenues of escape were closed. So that leaves north and south. Well, I decided that I would head north because I needed to go to the grocery store and get some water, fill up my gallon jugs, because I drink filtered water. And then I thought, well, I'm going to get some shave cream and try to shave my face on a reasonably regular basis, because using the electric razor works okay, but you know what I mean, men. So having said that, here we are in Ruidoso on the way back. I didn't get much stuff. I didn't need much stuff, but it was more just a trip to burn a little daylight, because they said that the worst weather would be over by about 3 p.m. and now it's 3:26, and we won't arrive back in Capitan till about 4, and with any luck at all, I'll get there just in time for the football-sized hail. You know what I mean? Yeah, so you got to be careful when you're trying to avoid a storm, particularly when you've got limited highways available to go different directions. particularly at night. Now, if it's dark, you may be just better off fighting it out in place. But in the daylight, you can look around and see where the storms are and where they're headed and so forth. And they're not that horrible. I mean, it's not like they cover the whole state. They just cover a few square miles. But it's best to just get out of Dodge if you can. And I've done that a few times in Texas at my home base. And usually the worst time for bad weather in Texas, in my area, is when the spring is turning to summer. We get some good old summer thunderstorms, and those thunderstorms can bring a little hail. I've never had any hail bigger than a nickel at my home base in Texas. However, out on the road traveling, I have left sites and come back and found hail about the size of quarters still on the ground, which probably meant they were a little larger than that originally. But I didn't have my RV with me at the time. That was when I was Prius camping, and also once in my pickup with a camper top. But yeah, my rule now is if it's daylight and there's an easy way to avoid the bad weather, even if I'm pulling a travel trailer. Now, I left the travel trailer. That's the way that goes. Of course, I've got it insured. And the thing about a travel trailer, it doesn't take much damage to total a $10,000 travel trailer like I have, and I know that. Because if Geico comes out and looks at it and it's got holes in the roof and dents on the aluminum on the sides, they'll total it. Why? Because they know if I take it into an RV dealer to have it repaired, that those labor rates will run that cost up over $10,000 real quick. So they just gave, in the Alpine, Texas case, they gave me a check which was more than the RV was worth by about $3,000. I couldn't believe they did it, because the old trailer was really a ragged out junk. So, but that worked out fine. But now that they would cover me good. But then, so that's why I don't worry about hooking up the RV and heading for low ground or whatever. So anyway, when you guys are out and about RVing, my suggestion is, and I know it's easy to forget, but if you're looking around your area and you see, I don't care if you're staying in an RV park, which I am at this time, I mean, boondocking, dry camping, or whatever, check the weather every day. I mean, every day. And lunchtime is a good time, because usually the storms start building up right at lunchtime and go on early in the afternoon. Sometimes late in the evening they can build up too, but usually between noon and 5 p.m. is the major time. So just check it out and make it a routine to do that. I forget every now and then, because I'm in an RV park and I look around and everything looks fine, and I say, it's going to be all right. In fact, I did that today. I'd just taken a short walk and I came back. I'd looked around as I was walking. I saw some clouds over towards Lincoln and over towards Carrizozo, but I thought, so they're probably going to get a little rain over there. Well, guess what? They did. And not only did they get a little rain, they got a little hail, and ping pong ball size hail will damage a car. It will. That's about as big around as a quarter, you know what I mean? But golf ball size hail, definitely, and the kind that hit the ground out there in Alpine, baseball size, it'll destroy a car and a RV in a few minutes. And that's usually how long it lasts. It doesn't last very long, thank goodness, because when I was at the RV park in Alpine, I had actually already got the mattress and got under it. Okay, I was under the mattress inside the RV, but only 2 came all the way through the roof. However, there were 22 holes in the roof that didn't come all the way through, because the Geico man counted them and put little black circles around them. He was very thorough, and he looked at me when he got through and he said, this thing is totaled. I thought, oh no, now what? Wonder how bad they're going to screw me this time. But knock on wood, 2 days later he called and he said he was going to be sending me a check for whatever it was. I think I would have sold the RV for $4,000 tops, and he said he was going to send me a check for around $8,000. I said, oh, really? I thought about trying to jack him up a little bit, and I thought, no. Pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. You know what I mean? So don't get too greedy, and I didn't. But we're on a road here that goes around the side of Ruidoso. I can't remember, it's something Canyon Road, and you avoid a lot of traffic. That comes out right on Highway 48 right here, and you take a right, and you're not too far. From right here to Capitan is probably 15 minutes. So it's a nice little, I guess you'd say, traffic-free shortcut, and I take it every time. So anyway, guys, just giving you a heads up on watch out for the weather. You see that cloud ahead of me? Maybe you can. That cloud is just starting to anvil out. That means it's fixing to top off, and when it starts to top off like that, it's going to dump its load. But I can't really tell which direction that is, because one thing about mountains and curves and stuff like that is you'll find that you get turned around real easy. I mean, you may think that's north, and it's south, north and south, you understand? The cheapest, oh, he just went up. I was going to get, no, that's not the one. There's a gasoline station up, that one's 309 Shell. Shell's always proud of their gasoline. But I'm going to go up here and pull in and get some $2.89 a gallon. That's the cheapest I've seen. I drove by several stations in Ruidoso. So they've gone from $2.69 to $2.79 to $2.89 in about 10 days. And here we go up a little hill here. And up here on the left is a Valero station that's $2.89, and I'm going to go ahead and get gas. Why? Because Labor Day weekend coming up, gasoline will jump 20 cents a gallon again. So I'll just save 20 cents a gallon. That's my opinion. How much is my opinion worth? Not much. But on the weather, guys, be safe. Err on the side of safety. Okay? This is the little Valero right here, and just as I get here, everybody in town's here. Thank y'all. Here we go. I'll get up here and end this video at the Valero in Ruidoso, if I can get to a pump that has a one on my side. Okay. It looks like they may be running out of gas because they got some of the pumps covered. But anyway, guys, from Ruidoso, New Mexico, this is Rusty78609 saying thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye. Buy anything your little heart desires, but if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of my video. I appreciate it very much. So having said that, guys, go for it. Bye-bye.